The NBA is facing its biggest scandal in decades. Over 30 people arrested, current head coach, a star player, and the Mafia? Federal prosecutors have just unsealed indictments for two massive criminal schemes that engulf the league. We're talking about insider betting, faked injuries, high-stakes rigged poker games run by some of New York's major crime families. And the two biggest names arrested, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups. The story is just breaking, and it threatens the entire integrity of the game. You need to see this. I'm going to break down both criminal conspiracies, how they did it, and the massive fallout that is just the beginning. Quick note, most of this information is being provided from federal indictments. These are allegations, and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty, and I do believe that in my heart. All right, let's start with scheme number one, which the feds called Operation Nothing But That. This wasn't just simple gambling. This was a conspiracy to use confidential, non-public information, insider info from players and coaches to place fraudulent wagers. Their main weapon, prop bets, are wagers on an individual player's performance. How many points they'll score, how many assists, and so on. They are incredibly easy to manipulate if you know what's going to happen. And the star of that particular indictment is Terry Rozier. Prosecutors allege that back in March of 2023, while he was on the Hornets, Rozier tipped off a friend, Dinario Laster, and that he was planning to leave an upcoming game early because of a so-called injury. Knowing this, Laster and his group allegedly placed over $200,000 in wagers, all betting on Rozier's understats, meaning they bet he would underperform. And guess what happened? Rozier played for just 9 minutes, exited the game with his injury, and all those underbets paid out tens of thousands of dollars in profit. That's what prosecutors say is wire fraud. And it wasn't just Rozier. Former player and coach Damon Jones was also charged. He allegedly sold insider information, including undisclosed lineup decisions and pre-release medical information about star Los Angeles Lakers players. He was feeding this secret info to co-conspirators who were using it an illegal edge in betting. But here is the most disturbing part of this scheme. The feds allege it wasn't just tipped. In some cases, players actively manipulated their performance or faked injuries just to make sure their prop bets would pay out. This conspiracy allegedly ran for more than a year. As bad as that is, the second scheme is where the story goes from a sports scandal to a mob movie. The feds called it Operation Royal Flush. Man, they must have some creative writers on these federal indictments, these cool names like that. It sounds like a movie. Now, this was a separate conspiracy to cheat wealthy victims out of at least $7 million in high-stakes underground poker games. These games were held in Manhattan, Miami, Las Vegas, and the Hamptons. And who was running these games? Members and associates of New York's crime families. The feds said this criminal enterprise enveloped both the NBA and the mob. So where does the NBA come up in all this? Well, enter NBA coach Chauncey Billups. Billups, a 5-time All-Star, was allegedly part of what prosecutors called the cheating team. He and Damon Jones were allegedly used as face cards. Their job was to lend legitimacy to the games. Wealthy victims, called fish in the indictment, were eager to play in an exclusive high-stakes game alongside an NBA legend. They were the bait. And once the fish were at the table, the cheating began. And this was not just a slick dealing. This was high tech. The indictment details a stunning level of sophistication. They used X-ray tables to read cards while they were face down. They used altered shuffling machines that could predict the best hands. They had electronic poker chip trays with hidden cameras and playing cards with markers visible only through special contact lenses or eyeglasses worn by the cheaters. It's like James Bond level stuff. These guys are already rich too. This is like hilarious. The mob allegedly supported the games, collected the debts, and took a cut of the $7 million in profits. So, with two massive indictments dropping at once, the NBA is in full-blown crisis mode, and the fallout was immediate. The NBA immediately placed both Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier on administrative leave. That means they are out indefinitely. The Trailblazers have already named assistant coach Tiago Splair as their interim head coach, replacing Billups. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver gave a statement saying that he was deeply disturbed by the news and that he had a pit in his stomach. He stressed that nothing is more important in the league than the integrity of the competition. But now the U.S. government is stepping in. A bipartisan group of 6 representatives from the House Committee on Energy and Commerce has written a letter to Adam Silver demanding answers. They want a full briefing by October 31st. They're asking Silver to explain the league's entire relationship with sports betting companies like DraftKings and FanDuel. Congress is asking the NBA to outline what it's doing to stop the use of insider information for illegal purposes and to identify the gaps in regulation that allow these schemes to happen in the first place. This is the nightmare scenario for the league. Their multi-billion-dollar partnership with the sports betting world is now under a federal microscope. This is one of the biggest sport corruption stories in history, and it is far from over. The legal battles for Billups and Rozier are just beginning. If you want to follow the legal analysis as this case develops, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. We're going to give updates as it goes along. And most importantly, I want you to remember to always plead the fifth.